Good day, everyone. Hi, I am Aaron H. Mariano, and today I invite you to journey with me in one of the most powerful and enduring literary works of our homeland, the Philippines. This novel is not only a masterpiece of our storytelling, but also a mirror of our nation, history, struggles, and awakening. We will critique a Noli Tángere or Touch Me Not by Dr. José Rizal, a novel that ignited Filipino consciousness and challenged the injustices of colonial rule. Through a post-colonial approach, we will uncover how Rizal words expose oppression, reclaim Filipino identity, and give voice to the people long silenced by colonization.
Noli Tángere by José Rizal is one of the most important novels in the Philippine literature, first published in 1887. During the Spanish colonial period, the novel exposes the social injustices, abuses of power, and cultural oppression experienced by the Filipinos under the Spanish rule. Set in the fictional town of San Diego, the story follows Crisostomo Ibarra, a young Filipino educated in Europe who returns to his homeland with hopes of reform. Using a post-colonial approach, this critic examines how the novel reveals the effects of colonial domination on Filipino identity, social structures, and resistance. Through characterization, symbolism, and narrative conflict, Rizal critiques colonial power and calls for national awakening. One of the central concerns of Noli Tángere is the abuse of power by colonial authorities, particularly the Spanish friars. Characters such as Padre Damaso and Padre Salve represent the moral corruption and hypocrisy of the colonial church. These figures use religion not as a source of spiritual guidance, but as a tool for control and intimidation. From a post-colonial perspective, the friars symbolize imperial authority that suppresses the native population while maintaining dominance through the fear and manipulation. Their actions highlight how colonial institutions distort moral values to justify oppression. Through these characters, Rizal exposes the imbalance of power between colonizers and the colonized, reinforcing the novel critique of colonial rule. The character of Crisostomo Ibarra represents the educated native who seeks reform within the colonial system, influenced by European ideals of progress and education. Ibarra initially believes that the change can be achieved peacefully. His experiences reveal the limits imposed on Filipinos by colonial structures. His school project intended to benefit the community is obstructed by friars who feel threatened by education and empowerment. From a post-colonial viewpoint, Ibarra's struggle reflects the dilemma of colonized intellectuals who attempt reform but are constrained by an injustice system. His eventual disillusionment demonstrates how colonial power resists transformation and silences native voices. Symbolism plays an important role in expressing post-colonial themes in a novel. The title Noli Tángere, meaning Touch Me Not, refers to a biblical phrase and also symbolizes the social illness affecting Philippine society. This metaphor suggests that colonial injustice is a deep-rooted disease that has been ignored for too long. Additionally, the death of Don Rafael Ibarra, who suffers punishment despite his innocence, represents the silencing of justice under the colonial rule. These symbols reveal how colonial systems dehumanize the native populations and deny them legal and moral protection. Rizal uses symbolism to expose the lasting psychological and social damage caused by imperial domination. Through a post-colonial reading, Noli emerges as a powerful critic of the Spanish colonial rule in the Philippines. Rizal exposes the abuses of religious and political authority, the limitation placed on the Filipino reformers, and the systemic injustice embedded in the colonial society. The novel not only documents oppression but also encourages awareness and resistance among its readers. By revealing the struggles of the colonized and the questioning imperial power, Noli plays a crucial role in shaping national consciousness. In these themes remain relevant, serving as a reminder of the importance of social injustice and cultural identity, and collective resistance against oppression.
As we reflect on this work, may we better understand our past, recognize the roots of our present, and appreciate the courage embedded in our literature. Join me as we revisit a Noli Me Tangere, not just a novel, but also a lasting testament of the Filipino spirit and struggle for freedom. For me, Noli Me Tangere is more than just a novel written in the past. It is a living voice that continues to speak to us today. Through a post-colonial lens, we see how the José Rizal courageously exposed injustice, challenged colonial power, and awakened the Filipino spirit to seek the truth, dignity, and freedom. As educators and as a Filipino, this work reminds us that understanding of our history is essential to shaping of our future. By revisiting Noli Me Tangere, we honor the struggles of those who come before and reaffirm our responsibility to uphold justice, identity, and national consciousness. Thank you for listening and make this critic inspired to us to read more, reply, think more critically, and appreciate the power of Philippines literature in telling of our story.
Hi there. In this video, we will explore the summary of the entire story of Noli Me Tangere, a significant novel in the history of the Philippines. But before anything else, let's first get to know the author of this novel. Noli Me Tangere was written by Dr. José Rizal, a national hero of the Philippines. Rizal was born on June 19, 1861, in Calamba, Laguna. He was a physician, writer, and reformist who played a crucial role in shaping the national consciousness of Filipinos during the Spanish colonial period. Noli Me Tangere, which was published in 1887, is one of his most important works, exposing the abuses and corruption in colonial society. Now, let us move on to the summary of the entire story of Noli Me Tangere. Let's begin. After 7 years of studying in Europe, young Juan Crisostomo Ibarra returns to the Philippines. Because of this, Captain Tiago holds a feast and invites several prominent people in the area, including Father Damaso, Father Sibila, Lieutenant Guevara, Doña Victorina, and a few influential members of society. At the feast, Father Damaso insults Ibarra, but instead of responding, Ibarra politely excuses himself, saying he has something important to attend to. Ibarra has a beautiful fiancée, Maria Clara, the foster daughter of Captain Tiago and a wealthy lady from Tondo. The day after the feast, Ibarra visits Maria Clara. They reminisce about their love for each other, and Maria Clara reads the old letters Ibarra gave her before he left for Europe. On his way home, Ibarra visits Lieutenant Guevara, who tells him about the fate of his father, Don Rafael Ibarra, who had passed away a year earlier. According to the lieutenant, Father Damaso accused Don Rafael of being a heretic and a subversive because he allegedly didn't attend Mass or confession. This all began after Don Rafael defended a boy from a tax collector who accidentally died after hitting his head. Due to this incident, an investigation was launched while Don Rafael was imprisoned. His hidden enemies came forward and accused him of various things. Don Rafael was greatly affected by this and fell ill in prison, which eventually led to his death. Father Damaso wasn't satisfied and had Don Rafael's remains exhumed and moved to a Chinese cemetery. Due to heavy rain, the gravedigger couldn't carry the body and ended up throwing it into the lake. Despite what happened, Ibarra did not seek revenge. Instead, he continued his father's mission and built a school with the help of Nol Juan. During the blessing of the school, Ibarra was almost killed, but he was saved by Elias. Instead of Ibarra, the man paid by Ibarra's secret enemy was the one who died. Once again, Father Damaso insulted Ibarra. Although Ibarra initially didn't want to react, when his father was insulted, he couldn't hold back and tried to stab the priest. He was only stopped by his fiancée, Maria Clara. Due to this incident, the Archbishop excommunicated Ibarra from the Catholic Church. Father Damaso took advantage of the situation and ordered Captain Tiago to cancel the marriage between Maria Clara and Ibarra. Instead, Father Damaso decided that Maria Clara should marry Alfonso Linares, a young Spaniard. Heartbroken, Maria Clara fell ill. With the help of the Captain General, Ibarra's excommunication was lifted, and he was accepted back into the church. However, unexpectedly, he was once again arrested and imprisoned, accused of leading a raid on the barracks. During a party at Captain Tiago's house to celebrate the engagement of Linares and Maria Clara, Ibarra managed to escape with the help of his friend Elias. Before fleeing, the lovers had a chance to talk in secret. Ibarra expressed his bitterness towards Maria Clara regarding the letter used against him in court, but Maria Clara vehemently denied any involvement. Maria Clara explained that the letter was taken from her in exchange for a letter from her mother, which revealed that Father Damaso was her real father. She added that she agreed to marry Linares to protect her mother's honor. However, she assured Ibarra that her love for him would never change. After their conversation, Ibarra escaped with Elias. They rowed a boat and traveled along the Pasig River until they reached Laguna de Bay. Elias hid Ibarra under some grass, but they were eventually caught by the pursuers. Elias jumped into the water to mislead the chasers, who thought it was Ibarra, and shot Elias, causing the water to turn red with blood. When Maria Clara heard the news of Ibarra's supposed death, she was devastated and lost all hope. She asked Father Damaso to send her to a convent or else she would end her life. It was Christmas Eve when Elias, wounded and weak, reached the forest of the Ibarra family. There, he found Basilio and the cold body of his mother, Sisa. Before dying, Elias prayed. He said that he would die without seeing the dawn of a new day. But for those who would see it, he asked them to greet it and never forget those who fell in the darkness of the night. And that is the summary of the novel Noli Me Tangere,